Hello everybody. Well, today we're going to be looking at the Isub G tank. This one came in my MVP 3.0 Pro starter kit. So, it only came with one coil, a 0.5. I believe the capacity on this one is a 4.5 mil. I believe that's what I'm saying. There's really no paperwork with the tank though, but it's fairly simple design. Screws right there, which has your air control on it. You can pull the coil from the bottom. Funny thing on this one though is that your coil actually has your 510 pin on the bottom, so it's all made into one. The one thing I noticed, I don't know if it's going to pick it up on camera or not, there's a little bit of cotton kind of hanging out both sides. And this coil is fairly small. It's supposed to have a little spit back protection with that screen on there. I'm going to show y'all here something in just a second that I've learned. Don't know if it works or not, but we're going to try it. So also, to fill this tank, there's the bottom. You want to screw this other piece off, and that's how you fill it. And it'll just give you a whole lot of room around that rim, but that's enough. But the first version of these tanks, and of course with me saying G, it is a glass tank. The first run was a plastic, was a polycarbonate plastic or something like that. So the top of it was plastic and it was all made into one piece. They say some juices over time could cause that plastic to crack or break. So this one has a removable drip tip. Looks like it's got Delron at the bottom of it. But it's a pretty simple little tank. I see them online, they're fairly inexpensive. I think the glass ones are going for between 22, 23 bucks, somewhere in that area. But it just seems like a little simple tank, not much of anything. The one thing I've learned on these, or I think I'm going to learn, they say before you fill your tank, you always want to prime your coils. And one thing that helps to prime these, since this has the screen and you want to put that juice on the top, say to get a pin, either a safety pin or whatever you got handy, and in that little channel that runs across, you just want to ever not force it, just kind of work it in there. This might take a minute. I don't have a safety pin on me, so I might have to. There we go. So you can see I got it all the way through. Just don't push it too hard because you can see what's happening already. It's pushing that cotton out through the other side. Pull it back. Push that back in. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the base. And as you can see, we figure out where I'm at. First of all, let me go ahead and put juice in my tank. And like I said, this has the little, I don't know what you call these little needle tips, but you got just enough room. So you want to get that on up there. That's about as far as you want to go. Lay that, and even with it filled to right there, and I might have accidentally put a little too much in, I'm about to find out. I think after you put it back together, it's still, there's going to be a lot of room left in this tank, I think. So, screw the bottom on this. And I'm going to go ahead and prime this coil. Yeah, this is not the best thing going on there. It just does not want to penetrate that screen that well. Oh well. Gonna get some in on the sides. Try to force a little bit more in there. This is a 0.5 coil. It's stamped. Also on the side, it shows that it's rated between 20 to 35 watts. So the way the grooves are made on this, pull that back a little, you can actually see, so this is fitted to go right in and fit right in that slot like that. And then all you do, screw that back on. Make sure it's nice and tight. And yeah, look at the, well, I lost some space on there. I thought I might have put too much in, but they always leave room in there. So this tank right here, or I should say the MVP, these both came together. I really was only wanting the MVP, but I took the kit. The kit wasn't that expensive. I'm going to give that a few minutes. I still see some air bubbles coming up through there, so give it a minute. Trying the serial killer in it. So far the MVP has just been outstanding. No problems out of it. I actually charged another device off of it the other day, which was pretty neat. But been playing around with the Vapor Shark probably a little bit more though. I'm loving these nickel coils in my Kangaroo tanks. Of course that one's on 40 watts at 460 degrees on the Nano. Gotta thank Danny down there at Vaporwise. He really hooked me up. I'm also loving the banana flavor, dude. So, My coil is reading at, well, my camera seems to have a problem picking this thing up, but I'm going to give you the readings on it. It's reading the coil on this one to be 0.44. Starting it off, I'm going to go ahead and start it at 20 watts. So, not really much taste off of that one. Got a little bit too much air running through it. Got a lot of airflow off that. It was wide open. I don't know what to say about that. All I'm getting pretty good vapor production off of it, but not so much any taste off of it. Maybe a drink of my coffee. Sometimes that helps. Flavor's starting to build up just a little bit on it. That's only at 20 watts though. So let me bump it up. Let me go and bump it up to 25. The airflow on this, it's got a lot of airflow, but you can also hear it too. I'm certain there's almost like a whistling noise to it. So if any of y'all know, if y'all have a Delta 2 and you turn the airflow down, it whistles like a freight train almost, but yeah, that's loud. I'm gonna open it all the way back up. Flavor's really, it's muted out. I'm not really getting a whole lot of flavor off this. This might be one of those coils that you have to break in. I gotta say, I'm not really too, the airflow is just not really, I'm not caring too much for it. It's loud. It's not really restricted at all. It just is loud as hell. I don't know if I'm gonna like that, but let me take it up to the max, what they're saying, 35. It's starting to pick up a little. Might just have to run this a little bit. Well, that's my first look. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'd like to thank everybody that's subscribed to me, and shout at me. Goodbye.